Rattle your cage. What else did he do?
What else do you do from a coaching standpoint?
Yeah.
Well, he and Coach Fish every day work their hardest to make sure that all their quarterbacks are the best quarterbacks to the best of their ability. So obviously he worked from a football standpoint, but I think the whole staff came in with an NFL pedigree and mindset, and there was no babying involved. It was treated us like professionals, and we kind of adapted to that.
And you contrast that with that moment after the interception that you talked about. What's the balance between the hard coaching and the encouragement? Does one happen more often at one time?
I think during the season, it's not as much like the stern talking to and the hard coaching. Obviously, they still coach very hard, but it's more encouragement and talking through things and stuff. Because obviously, I think with Coach playing the position, he knows that getting ripped apart during the middle of a game, that's not going to help you as a quarterback. For myself or for any quarterback that I know. So he's done a good job, and Coach Fish have done a great job of just keeping it like a business type relationship during the season.
You said
As the competition gets better, what does this offense have to do better? Or what can it do?
Well, I think I heard Coach talk about how it's good to win 51 or 52-14 and have a lot to improve on. So obviously I've got to sharpen my reads, and I had a couple misreads in the game, and the offensive line had a couple miscommunications with the running backs and the receivers with blocking assignments and routes and stuff. So just sharpening up and knowing every assignment and not having any mental errors on any plays throughout the game.
Talk about how in this last game in particular and in general this coaching staff can adjust. Like they were stacking against the run and your tailbacks weren't getting anything. So you started giving it to the fullback and to Eddie, with an end around.
Mm-hmm.
Where, they're not stubborn, I guess, if something's not working, they'll...
Yeah, they're definitely not stubborn in terms of play calling. They're obviously going to adjust. They all came from the NFL and understand what it's like to be successful at all levels. So they're going to adjust on the fly and make sure we're in the right spots at the right time.
You said up there you felt like you maybe needed that hard coaching. What did you mean by that? Why did you need that?
Probably because when I came in the winter and then kind of redshirted that season, and it was just, I didn't know what was going on that year, and not many people did really. It was kind of a messy year, and it didn't end well at all. And I just kind of skated through that year without much discipline with, is what I should be doing for football and stuff like that. So it was kind of a rude awakening when they came, and I realized I needed to change some things in terms of my preparation for the game of football, and I was able to do that, and it worked out.
How long do you think it took you that message to kind of come through? I mean, is it as simple as he yells it to you one time?
No. That whole spring was rough. I tore my groin. Wasn't really able to perform like I wanted to, but still practice every practice, and came out really low on the depth chart, and so there was some hard self-evaluation after that spring with talking to Coach Fish as well and Coach Harbaugh, and they just said, hey, if you want this, you just got to work a little bit harder, and that's what I did.
What were you doing when you weren't doing things that a quarterback should do?
Well, I mean, just like in terms of like meetings and stuff, my redshirt year, I didn't really know any of the game plan type stuff with Nussmeier. I was the scout team quarterback, so I wasn't really as invested into what was going on every week, but I just didn't really know. And that happens, I think, with a lot of people when they go through their redshirt year. And
just kind of check out a little bit?
Yeah, just a little check out a little bit, and that's kind of what I did, but I was able to check back in quickly. So,
did you see the HBO thing before it was brought to your attention, or did people blow up your phone and then you watched it?
I didn't watch it until people blew up my phone. My parents thought it was funny. They both said you probably deserved that. So, but yeah, I saw that, and I saw they kind of blurred out my number, but no, it was funny.
Well, was it the worst you got at that spring, or was there something we didn't see on HBO?
There was another time that was similar to that, probably a little worse, but hey, it is what it is, and kind of take it and move on.
How many guys get that kind of?
I don't know. I mean, everyone gets it at one point or the other. I mean, there's no maybe Andrew Luck. I don't think Andrew Luck ever got anything. He seemed to have been the perfect football player.
That's what you hear?
Yeah, from his old teammates and from coach. So maybe not Andrew Luck, but and not Mrs. Harbaugh, but I think everybody else will pretty much get that stern talking to every once in a while.
You mentioned your parents. What do they think about this and how far you've come from that point?
Yeah, they know how hard I've worked to get to this point, and it was a long road. Starting back in high school when I had to reclass with my collarbone injuries, and they were with me every step of the way. So for them to never have given up on me and supported me through all the ups and downs, it's special to share with us too.
How often do they get up here for games?
They don't miss a game. They've never missed a game. And they won't miss one this year, so it's nice to have them and their support, see them after every game.
Did you ever